Travis Kelce going full on MAGA, coming out in full force. Well, pretty good force considering who his significant other is, for none other than Donald Trump. Here's the article in Vanity Fair. Oh my gosh, everybody is freaking out. Everybody's freaking out. Donald Trump going to the Super Bowl. And what? No one's going to protest? Not even the Eagles? I mean, the Eagles. Don't forget them, the Philadelphia Eagles. Remember how they wouldn't even stand for the national anthem back in 2018? Well, Trump's going to be there. And I have just a little teeny tiny feeling that, there's a reason he is rooting for these guys.
That's awesome. It's a great honor. I think, no matter who the president
is. It's awesome. It's a great honor. No matter who the president is, he's the president of the United States, for goodness sakes. So Donald Trump is out tweeting about this, or I should say, what are we saying? Xing about this? Actually, he's truthing about this on Truth Social, his own platform. Take a look. 2 great quarterbacks in this game. Also an unbelievable running back and the absolute best tight end in football ever. That would be you, Travis. Okay, incredible coaching. If they could only get rid of that really weird looking new kickoff deal, which actually makes football more dangerous, they would be doing everybody, especially the fans, a big favor. Anyway, it will be a great game. I'll be doing the interview before the game at 3 p.m. There hasn't been one in 4 years. Gee, I wonder why. Gee. Biden couldn't do that. Biden couldn't do a lot of things, all right? Let's be honest. We're very lucky that Biden is not there anymore. We're very lucky that Kamala Harris didn't get the gig because, well, I don't think we could have sat through. I don't know about you. I don't know as I could have kept doing the show for 4 years if I had to listen to that. I mean, listen, I've been pretty patient for the last 4 years with none other than Biden. I don't know as I could have done 4 with Kamala. So why is Trump backing the Chiefs? Well, I think it's pretty simple. Remember in 2018, as I was saying earlier, you had the Philadelphia Eagles that wouldn't even stand for the national anthem. I mean, when did it become so popular and so cool and so acceptable to be so anti-American? It's been sort of this evolution, right? I think it started back with the Obamas and Michelle Obama not being proud to be American. I mean, she's so not proud that she wouldn't even go to Jimmy Carter's funeral. She wouldn't even go to the White House for the inauguration. Well, there may be something separate going on there, as in the marriage itself. But you know what? I'm sorry. You are an American first. Whether you like it or not, Michelle, you're part of history, right? You were the first lady there for 8 years. You should show up at these big events, even if Barack isn't doing what you want him to do. Anyway, I would just say that Donald Trump made a stand against the Philadelphia Eagles back then. And look, he's a politician. He loves Philadelphia. He loves Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania voted for him. But he's partial, dare I say. He's partial to someone else. And that would be Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he said it, right? There in the tweet. That's what we saw. So the Swifties are really mad about all this stuff. It's hard for them to take because the Golden Girl has not exactly been very pro-Trump. I mean, perhaps she can't. Did you ever think of that? I mean, given what we're learning about U.S. aid and all the money that was going towards the propaganda, it's like if you were in Hollywood, you didn't stand a chance. That's why we have to actually stick up for the few people that are willing to get out there in front of these stories. Anyway, they are outraged. Oh my gosh, how could Travis Kelce praise Donald Trump? How could he possibly say something? I know you have to turn up your volume on this one a little bit because it was one of those clips that somebody caught on their cell phone. But again, Travis Kelce, how could she stand Travis Kelce after he dared to praise, imagine that, Donald Trump for coming to the Super Bowl? Yeah, he's proud to play in front of the president because you know what? The guy's an American.
That's awesome. It's a great honor. I think, no matter who the president is, I know I'm excited because it's the biggest game of my life, and having the president there, it's the best country in the world. So it'd be pretty cool.
Taylor Swift comes out against Trump.
I don't care if they write that. I'm sad that I did.
Yeah, you remember that? You remember that. So she kind of courted this. She was out there really, really, really anti-Trump. Don't forget the campaign she launched against One Marsha Blackburn. Senator Blackburn still won her election despite Taylor's efforts. So the Swifties, they're a force, but when it comes to politics, I don't know if they're entirely there with her. Maybe she's playing both sides. She's got this boyfriend that's obviously pretty magnanimous, and he's an American first kind of guy, and his best friend, Patrick Mahomes, is quarterback. His wife is pro-Trump. Here she is. I want to play it again. Taylor Swift being uber anti-Trump in that documentary she did.
Taylor Swift comes out against Trump.
I don't care if they write that. I'm sad that I didn't 2 years ago, but I can't change that. I'm saying right now that this is something that I know is right, and you guys, I need to be on the right side of history, and if he doesn't win, then at least I tried.
Taylor, here's the problem.
I just want to read you what I wrote, and I'm going to try to start. I just really want you to know that this is important to me.
I
and this
totally
is something
agree with the issue, but
have
let
you
me explain
heard
to you.
her?
Okay, so she's kind of courted it, shall we say. So the fans, when they heard Travis say what he did, that he's proud to have the president there, that it should be great, right? They're going, a great honor? Run, Taylor Swift, run. Like, get out of the relationship. They want her to break up with like the only guy that seemingly is sort of like a stable relationship for her. And I have my own perspective on that. I don't totally believe it. But you know what? Hey, let's go with it for today. We're going into the Super Bowl weekend. And this one says he's going to be grounded when he gets home. And then another one says, so sad to see my girl surrounded by so many bad company like Blake Lively, Brittany Mahomes, and now her own boyfriend, Taylor. Girl, you better run. Her own boyfriend, her best friend, blah, blah, blah. Quick shout out, by the way, before we get to all that for 76 Research. If you haven't subscribed yet, this is my research company, financial research. This is a hard turn, right? But we're going back to Brittany, we're going back to Blake, and we're going back to Taylor in just a second, and the Super Bowl. But I just want to tell you about this because, the market has been on fire. There's all this optimism about Donald Trump, and I want you to have a chance to partake in it. We have model portfolios there at 76 Research that you can subscribe to. In fact, we're making a change. We're adding a new stock, actually, to the income builder portfolio that's happening over the weekend. So try to get in on this while you can right now. You can get just the 76 report, the basic one, for just $1 a month. Just $1 with code word dollar for the first 2 months for a limited time. Then it goes to $9.95. But limited time offer, my gift to you for Super Bowl weekend anyway, $1. And it sure beats that. Sure beats the Politico subscription. Did you see that? They wanted $10,000 and the government, of course, paid it. More on that coming up. But keep in mind, of course, Taylor Swift is all about her career, and her fan base is not too happy with this. So what is she going to do with that? I'm not sure. I think that she actually rides it and she plays it, and she's playing both sides of the coins to a certain extent, right? Because she's got Travis there who seemed pretty kind of MAGA-ish lately. I mean, he ought to get on board, right? Everybody else is. And then you've got the friends, Brittany Mahomes, who's clearly, one of her good friends, but it became awkward last year. Remember that? Because Taylor came out endorsing Joe Biden. Oh, this was good. Take a look at this, guys. Here she says, I spoke to VM Magazine about why I'll be voting, I guess that would be Vogue, right, for Joe Biden for president. So apt that it's come out on the night of the VP debate, going to be watching and supporting Kamala Harris by yelling at the TV a lot. I also have some custom cookies, Biden 2020. So that was back in 2020. And then she came out for Kamala, of course, in 2024. And it's like, I kind of wondered, did she have to do this? Like, is this the deal? You want to be in Hollywood? This is the price of admission. I think to a certain extent, you see all of these actors that, by the way, are getting paid. I mean, clearly there's something going on. Oprah Winfrey, per the New York Times, getting $2 million for that sit-down interview with Kamala Harris. And we've learned about, all kinds of things that I'm going to get into. We're talking $8 million versus subscriptions. You just heard me mention it to Politico that were like built in. I want to know who signed that contract. Seriously. Like, that person should be investigated. We deserve our money back, do we not? I mean, they spent like $70 billion in 23 and 30 or 40 billion the year before, all this US aid stuff. And it's going to all these bizarre places, including places like the New York Times, Politico, the BBC. I mean, come on. So bought and paid for media. And so you wonder to a certain extent, like these Hollywood celebs, like they don't have a choice, right? I'm not giving Taylor there's no excuses here. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, think about what a big freaking deal it is for some of her friends like Brittany Mahomes to come out as she did, or even her boyfriend, Travis, saying, this is a great honor to have the president there. Like, it takes a certain amount of bravery because you have the entire world trying to shut you down. Look, I've been there, done that, been part of cancel culture. I can tell you what that's like. It's not fun. Okay, but you kind of just have to believe in something bigger. Reminder to subscribe and share and like and comment and all that stuff. We're growing. It's all thanks to you. What are we up to? Like 560 some odd thousand subs. So it's really, really incredible. Thank you for all that you do. It means a lot. Like it really, 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 really means a lot. And I appreciate that. And I want to thank, by the way, Greg Williams. Thank you for your generosity. I am so glad that you love the show. And he wants to know when I'm going to the White House. That'll happen. You know what? We're gonna get the big guy on the show. That'll happen. Trust me.